Why Thanksgiving may be more important than you think. The holiday season is a time for giving thanks and celebrating with friends and family. But it's also a period when many people feel increased pressure to find love, find it fast, or risk being lonely forever. With dating apps and websites overflowing with singles looking for love in the final days of the year, we are reminded that there is someone out there for everyone. But do you have to be in a relationship to experience this abundant love? Thanksgiving may be the least romantic of holidays, but it has some important lessons about love, loneliness, self-worth, and friendship. So before you swipe right on that perfect stranger or decide to spend the rest of your life with your third cousin once removed at Thanksgiving dinner again this year, here are some things you should know about love and loneliness.
Loneliness is a natural part of being human. Social psychologist and author John Cacioppo has spent his career studying the phenomenon of loneliness and its impact on our health and well-being. He has found that even in the most crowded places on the planet, people profoundly miss companionship. Cacioppo's research also shows that loneliness is our biological response to being alone. It's not a sign that something is wrong with us, or that we're lacking in any way. It's a reminder that we are a species that relies on connection. Cacioppo believes that loneliness is so powerful that it can be as addictive as nicotine. The difference is that breaking the nicotine addiction is widely seen as a sign of strength. For many, loneliness is viewed as a sign of weakness.
Finding love shouldn't be your only source of happiness. Love is a wonderful thing, but it shouldn't be the only reason you get out of bed in the morning, or the only thing you have to look forward to. Cacioppo's research has also shown that people in satisfying marriages who are lonely are actually less happy than people who are single, or who are in less than satisfying marriages. Cacioppo believes this happens because when people have a low sense of connection to others, they stop being motivated to pursue activities that might lead to new and more fulfilling relationships. They may become less interested in pursuing hobbies and passions that draw them out of themselves. They may stop going out with friends, or stop doing things they enjoy just because they're not in a relationship.
Being single doesn't mean you're lonely. And it doesn't mean you're not worth loving. You can be single and not be lonely, and you can still be worth loving. And by focusing on your happiness and self-worth, you might just increase your chances of finding love. Cacioppo has found that people who are lonely but have a high sense of self-worth have a better chance of finding and maintaining relationship happiness than people who are in a relationship and have low self-worth. Cacioppo believes that when people have a high sense of self-worth, they tend to be more open to finding fulfilling relationships, even if those don't happen to come from being in a relationship. Cacioppo also believes that people with a high sense of self-worth are more likely to recognize and appreciate love in their lives, whether or not it comes from a romantic relationship.
It can be hard to find the right person at the wrong time. When you find the right person, you'll know it. But timing can be everything. Cacioppo has found that loneliness and love don't just happen in different places in our lives, they also happen in different parts of our brains. Cacioppo's research shows that loneliness happens in the more primitive part of the brain that is concerned with safety and survival. The parts of the brain that are responsible for love and attraction happen in the frontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that is involved in our highest level thinking and decision-making. Cacioppo believes that the timing of these two things happening in totally different parts of the brain is why love can happen to some people at the wrong time, and why it doesn't happen to others at the right time.
The only thing we have in this world is each other. So let's appreciate our loved ones and stop equating loneliness with misery. The happiest people aren't always the people who are in relationships. They're the people who appreciate their loved ones and enjoy their lives and friendships regardless of whether they're in love or not. Cassioppo's research shows that people who are lonely but have a high sense of self-worth find the most happiness when they are in relationships. At the same time, people who are in satisfying relationships but have a low sense of self-worth are some of the most unhappy people in the world. Cassioppo believes that the people who have a high sense of self-worth and who are in a relationship have the highest levels of satisfaction because they have both a valuable relationship and the self-worth to make the most of that relationship. Cassioppo's research shows that people who have a low sense of self-worth but who are in relationships are the least happy people. The reason for this is that people with a low self-worth tend to resent the fact that they have a relationship but don't have the skills or self-worth to make it happy or satisfying. By contrast, people with a high sense of self-worth who are in happy relationships tend to appreciate their loved ones even more than people who are single and lonely.